whether you're a doctor or whatever, there's always a business somewhere, there's always a hustle, or even, and women as well, there's always a hustle. So I can imagine that most people here have a separate company and they're doing something on the side, right? Or they have their own company. The interesting thing is that a lot of us don't understand necessarily why, because we are the most entrepreneurial race literally in the history of the world, by numbers. The Jewish people are very, cool in themselves, but they're very specific in what they do. We, numbers-wise, around the world, every single one of us are entrepreneurial. We might be professionals, we might try this and that, but deep down, we're entrepreneurial. And the question is why? Well, there's this whole issue of Icamday, right? And the Icamday is like houses the cheap for a man. And when you look at Icamday, and it's all about, that explains the entrepreneurial spirit in the Igbo man, just by looking at Icamday. Because the Icamday, and if you analyze it, you see that's what we do. Icamday has the horns, right? And the horns are there so that, like the ram, it's symbolic. It doesn't mean it physically has horns, and it's not the devil. What it's trying to say is that, symbolically, the horns are like a ram, and it goes face forward. A ram always moves like that, right? Meaning that the Igbo man doesn't care. He can go to any place, and he will just plant himself there. And even though it looks dire, there's no one else doing business, I will find a way. I'll put my head there. I'll go there, head first. And it has that aggressive look on his face, meaning that he's moving. Nothing is going to stop him. That's that entrepreneurial spirit. And some of them have a sword on one hand and then a skull on the other. It's cutting through all the problems, And that skull is actually your prize. Money, status, title, whatever. The Igbo man likes that. He wants to feel proud. He wants to make his own thing moving forward. Another area is that there's no generational wealth didn't exist then in Igbo land. It's not like you now make money and you pass it to your son. That was frowned upon. Every man needs to make his own money. Every man needs to stand, or you're not a man, is the kind of thinking, right? And so therefore that makes everyone entrepreneurial. Rather than saying, my dad has money, I'm just going to sit on my laurels and wait for him to die, right? And just take his money. It was never that. It was like, no, I must make it. I must even do more than my dad. And it's that spirit that's really pushing us. And the same with women. Omumu. So Omumu is the creative spirit. It's not just about pregnancy or giving birth or menstrual periods, which is what people think of. Omumu is about creation, like Mother Earth, the creator. So, the way women create new avenues in the marketplace to make more money or to do things or to look after their family, that spirit is there. So that spirit, Ikenga and Omumu working hand in hand, is what makes the Igbo people just strive, not a bomber. And then there's technicalities as well, like Iba Odibo, right? So how many of you have watched Afamefuna? I know you have, right? Right? I beg you, if you went Netflix, go home tonight and watch Afamefuna, right? So Afamefuna is about, Iba boy, yeah? Right? Or my boy. So that whole thing about the apprentice. That apprentice system is unique in the world history. That is actually even talked about at Harvard Business School and on TED. TED Talks. I don't know how many people know of TED Talks, which is this, high-level presentation about unique things in the world. And they've talked about this, that a special way for the apprentice to work. Now, we've always had apprentices. But how is it that you have a virgin land and you have an Igbo man that will come, and then after 20 years, the whole place is full of Igbo? And then all the people living there will say, these Igbo people, what's going on here, right? It's like that all over Nigeria. That's why they hated Igbo people. The man comes one day, no Igbo person, 10 years later, the whole place is full of Igbo people. And that first guy was selling electronics, the whole place is selling electronics. If he was selling spare parts, the whole place is spare, and then that's how a market starts, Alama market or whatever. It starts with one guy. Why? Odibo. The guy will come, bring one boy. They will do a ceremony, like as if you're getting married, to take on this boy. And then you take him on, you won't pay him anything. The guy will walk, you teach him the ways, and then from there you say, okay, you have finished working for me, you have now landed. Here is your shop, here is your provisions, start your own. But make sure you do it for the next person. That was a unique system in world history, But there's an unfortunate thing as well. Sorry, there's another thing before I come to the unfortunate thing. One more thing is to do with investment schemes. So the author title is many things spiritually, but it's also something financially. I would say it's the first ever retirement endowment in the history of the world. Retirement, because literally retirement. Because once you are a big man, you can now, it's yours, you pay your money and everything. The rest divide that money. By the time you're older, your children have left, right? You just sit back, other people will be joining, you just be collecting money. Not necessarily the case now. But then that was your retirement fund, and then we have the isusu, which is what the market women used. It's a savings, financial instrument, It's not showing very well. Isusu. But again, that was there. Well, I've never said I was good with accents. All you can do is just say, I know what it's talking about.
If we keep correcting you never move on, so just carry on.
But one unfortunate scenario that was unique about Igbo was that we were the perfect society for slave trade. The interesting thing is that we were the most sought after, Ebos or Igbos. You see that graph there? I don't know if you can see it very well. This was the 18th century. You can see that the majority, 7 million in the 18th century, right? The majority of the slaves that went to the Americas were from the land, from that coast.